Hi, my name is Mimi Welch. I am the Director of Ops of NewRez Inc. And today I get the opportunity to interview Miss Noelle Randall.
Yes, I'm your CEO.
Yes, my CEO. I get to interview her. We got a lot of questions from her subscribers. I have a few of my own, so we're gonna jump right into it.
Noelle. Yeah, she can fix that. If you gotta get it done, no, you need to do it better. Well, she can fix that. Yeah, she can fix that. Investment to get back, trying to get a big stack. She can fix that. Let's fix that.
Okay, so the first question here, what is it like in a day in life of Noelle Randall?
So it's so funny because obviously every day is different. And my days now are much different than when I was becoming an entrepreneur. So it's so funny when people ask me this question, because if you really wanted to mock what I'm doing now, it's probably not going to get you to where I am now, because I live kind of this really structured life where I have a lot of nannies and I have a lot of operations managers and employees. So I'm not really showing you what it takes to become an entrepreneur. My day really is waking up early in the morning, making sure I do my morning routines. I tell people about meditating and saying my affirmations, you know, just so that I can continue to be happy. As you start to get money and become wealthy, people start asking you for things and new experiences. So you have to really stay grounded in your own happiness. So I wake up in the morning, obviously between 4:30 and 6 a.m. pretty much every single day. I don't use an alarm clock because I don't have to be anywhere at a specific time. So there is no alarm clock. But I do, write down, start, like I said, with my morning routine, not really talking to anyone, not looking at televisions or screens. That's really important first thing in the morning. So I start my days most mornings around 8:30 or 9 a.m. when I start actually emailing or calling someone or pulling out my laptop. That's usually about the time when I will start sending messages to people. Of course, checking my email is something that I do in the morning. But again, after I've been up for like 3 or 4 hours, that's not something you should do when you first wake up, obviously. And I've also written out my plan, kind of some of the things that I want to accomplish for the day. So it may be I have some meetings that I need to accomplish today. I may need to meet with my social media team today. So my days now as someone that's running 8 or 9 businesses is much different than when it was when I started. So I'm thinking you may have a follow-up question, but that was my answer for what my day is like now.
Great. I mean, you started structured. You have a plan.
I do.
So I know you, and I know some of the things that you've had the challenges that you've had.
Yes.
So one of the questions would definitely be just sharing with everyone else, what were some of those challenges? How did you weather the storm on your journey?
So during the journey, you're going to be hit with things. So obviously, when I first started investing in real estate, I was bankrupt. I had multiple foreclosures. I lived with my parents. I was just like this disaster of a person trying to go to school and figure out this real estate thing. For me, it was a lot of storms in the beginning. I think when you first start to go towards something and you really make a decision to go towards it, that's when all of the storms start coming up. But that's you creating the storm. Those are just inner issues almost. I didn't realize it at the time, but those were inner issues, thinking, oh, my kids have this to do. Oh, I have this to do. Oh, I have to cook dinner. Oh, my husband needs this. Oh, this is that. Oh, this person's leaving me. So you start to have all of these issues come up, which makes you want to quit. And you've heard me say that term a lot, weathering the storm, because as an entrepreneur, the storm is going to come and you need to just weather it. You need to fight through it. You need to keep going. You don't just quit when something is going bad. You don't just quit when you run out of money, or you don't just quit when your client cancels on you and you really needed that money. You have to weather that storm and keep going and know that it will be all right for you. So it is not easy. You know what I mean? Obviously, I am a woman. I'm a woman of color. There's been challenges. But more than that, I focused on the positive. That's another thing that I think that I do really well that other people don't do. And that was part of my mentorship. My coach, I paid money for him to teach me real estate, but more than anything, he taught me about changing my mindset. He's like, look, sis, you need to get up and you need to be more positive. Please stop watching the news. He had to tell me to literally stop watching the news, because I was, did you hear about in Florida somebody killed a baby? Just saying crazy thoughts that I didn't even realize were in my head. I didn't even realize. I would know who got shot, who got stabbed. I would know these things. Me, I know. This is so funny. So I'm saying this is a great interview because you know me now. You're like, you? Yeah, me, chick. I used to watch the news and spout and repeat politics and just think that do not matter in your life. And I think it makes the storm worse, because if you just focus on yourself and you get that outside noise gone, you can do so much better for yourself. So that's my advice. That's how I weathered the storm. It was not easy. I cried, I screamed, all of it and more.
Yes, you definitely weathered the storm.
Yeah.
And with that, that leads you to be able to have something to be able to offer and to pour into other people when you mentor them.
Yeah.
And the next question definitely would be, when you look for someone to work for you, like, what do you look for in the people that you hired to join your team?
Ooh, this is a good one. So obviously, when I first started my business, I started with a lot of family. I did not just hire people. So I don't know, again, I didn't have any venture capital money. I did not get any loans and all those things. I did not know about it. I just had me. And the people around me. I had my cousins, my brothers, my sisters, my aunties, I used my friends. I used what I had. And people don't think that they can. People, oh, my sister's not going to help me, or my brother's not going to help me, or my husband, my boyfriend. And I did not find that to be true. I find that when you are serious about something and you're not dabbling, you will find people that will literally help you and stop what they're doing to work on your thing too. Yeah. But if you're dabbling, if you're playing around, if you're switching what you do each week, then no one's going to come and help you do that. So once I got serious, it was very easy to find other serious people in my family that would help me. Even my dad.
So if you believe in you, others will.
Others will too.
So you mentioned your dad. What impact did he have on you?
Yeah, and I have talked about my dad before, that my dad was one of the people that helped me get good credit. So obviously when I was in my parents' basement with bad credit and bankruptcies and foreclosures, my dad put me as an authorized user on a lot of his credit cards, like 3 of his good credit cards, and that helped me get good credit. I did not even know that you could do that. Again, my coach told me that, like, you need to find a credit sponsor. And I'm like, what's a credit sponsor? And it was like, they don't even have to give you the card and it will boost your credit score. I went from like low 500s to almost 6, it was like high 6s in like a few months of him adding me on his American Express, his Chase card, and making me an authorized user and getting me some new trade lines. So he helped me fix my credit. That was the first thing. And then a few years later, he was an investor when I decided that I wanted to start teaching this and I wanted to get away from flipping houses. He was like, okay, I'll take some money out of my 401k. Here's $100,000 that you can have for your business. And I paid him back, but it was an amazing thing to be able to have my dad go into his retirement account and, help me in my business.
Your dad being the first to help you with the credit, being the first to invest. And then, like you said, you started with family. That can be challenging.
It can.
So what were some of those challenges or experiences that you had with family and friends?
Ooh, oh my gosh. So it's funny because I don't want to paint this rosy picture like everyone in your family can work for you. That is absolutely not true. Probably the family and friends that you are able to work with. However, I think what it is going to come from is you. As I have to be really honest, it's you. It's how you're managing them. It's how you set your business up. It's you. And it was me. And when I first started, I realized I wasn't being like a manager. I wasn't being corporate, like, here's an agreement. Here's what I want you to do each day. Here's what I'm going to pay you. I'm going to pay you on these dates. I wasn't organized. Obviously, when I first started, I did not pay people on the 15th and the 30th. You know what I mean? So then they did not work Monday through Friday. And so as I became better and started to make, a real business and say, okay, here's what I need you to do each day. Here is the softwares that you use. Here's a computer for you. Here's how I pay you. And here's the amount that I pay you. As I got better, they got better. Yes. And because they just started falling in order, you know what I mean? It's like my family and friends saw me as a business. They didn't see me as a family and friend. But again, it was me growing and me making a real business that made them better and not saying, hey sis, I'm not coming tomorrow. Or, hey sis, I ain't coming here today. And then me being like, oh, okay.
That's true. Even with family, just stay in your business.
That's right.
So
it's still a business.
It's still a business. So with business, let's talk about business partners.
Ooh.
I would like to know, what are your red flags with business partners?
Oh my gosh, you're really going there. This one is actually really hard for me because I'm just saying, family and friends, but business partners is not really something that I enjoy. I have had so many different business partners. I've been starting businesses since I was, 20 years old. And now I'm 40 years old. So 20 years of starting businesses, it's a lot. And when I first started, I always wanted a business partner. I was starting businesses with people at my job. I was starting people at the church. I would start a business with anyone that wanted to start a business with me. I'm like, let's do this. But I did not realize that they did not have that same commitment that I had. I did not realize that I was the one used to weathering storms, and some other people were not used to weathering storms and really were quitting the business really early, quitting the business as soon as something came up, not wanting to risk anything, not wanting to risk money, not wanting to risk credit. And to have a business, there's risk. And so why I don't necessarily like business partners anymore, even investors as much, I've just grown past that point, is that I don't really want to answer to anyone. You know what I mean? I want to just do my own thing. So for me, I am not a big fan of business partners. Right now, I have the saying, if God, if business partners were so great, God would have one. But I am not opposed to them for other people, because like I said, I did have businesses with business partners. I've just bought them all out or dissolved those businesses. I really am just not a person that enjoys business partners as much anymore because of it's a relationship.
It is a relationship.
It's another marriage. And
yes.
It is.
Okay, so thank you for that, because that is really good information to know, because people do have to know the real of business, that some of them just might not work.
Yeah.
But we do know all of them are not bad.
Correct. Absolutely not. Every business partnership I had was not terrible.
So tell me about the ones that worked out, or just for that time it really was beneficial.
Yeah, it was a great way to raise capital. So one of the things with investors and people coming into your business, if you have something that you can give something to someone of value, for example, equity in your business, then that is a good thing. You know what I mean? So like I said, for example, my dad as a business partner, that was a really good thing for me. I gave him equity in the business, and then as I repaid back the loan, his equity in my business decreased. But he was always a silent partner. He was never telling me what to do or giving me advice. And I've had some really great partnerships too with, for example, one of my coaches, KJ, we have the business with the Turo business where he runs the cars. That's been a great partnership. He loves the cars, and he was able to take on that whole business. The Billionaire Girls Club, that we have with you and Naya, where we have that partnership where we're doing meetings and events and things like that. So there's been some good partnerships where we've been really aligned with what we're doing. And the people that I was partnering with, they had the same wants and desires that I did from the business. And setting those intentions and having those previous relationships where we know we can have an argument and still be okay, that has made some of those partnerships better. And that's someone you can partner with. So they have not, I'm sorry, I don't want to be so negative, but at the same time, if you are aligned with the person, yes. And then over time, what I've always done with my partnerships is found a way where I know how we're going to get out of it. Always, this is not a marriage. It's not like a prenup where I'm bringing up a prenup and it's so negative. We always should talk about, are we selling this business? Are you going to be taking it over? Are we giving it to our kids? Like, what's our long-term plan for the business? So that's a good conversation that I learned from bad partnerships.
Great. There's a lesson in everything.
A lesson in everything.
It really is.
Yeah.
Okay, thank you for that. So let's pivot. Which one of your businesses right now do you enjoy the most?
Wow. So obviously the most is the media company. So I came to YouTube as a millionaire already. I say that kind of humbly, but I already had made $1 million in my business, and then came to YouTube and started teaching it almost out of boredom. I wanted to be fun, wanted to share. I was doing events and people said, well, you could just put all of this stuff on YouTube and it would reach a whole lot more people.
Yes.
And so I underestimated how enjoyable media and entertainment was. Obviously I'm teaching in real life, but the media side of it, filming the properties, being on camera, the makeup, the hair, the wigs, I really like it. It's fun.
It is.
And the money's good.
The money.
Yes.
Getting to your millions.
Yeah.
Like how you made your first million.
So obviously it wasn't with YouTube. However, YouTube has definitely expanded those millions. So Let's start though with the definition of millionaire. So there's 3 definitions of millionaire.
Okay.
I always knew I wanted to be a millionaire even before I knew the definition. So the first one is by having assets. And that was the first way that I ever became a millionaire. So if you have 5 properties, they're worth $200,000, you don't owe any money on them, you have $1 million net worth, you're a millionaire. So that's number 1. Boom, check. That was pretty easy.
Okay.
Because of the properties and finding people with property problems and, building my portfolio, I know how to do that. So then the second one was earning $1 million per year, okay? And that was like big for me, and that really was YouTube. So how I made my first $1 million earned it was with the combination of YouTube. So with my properties, short-term rentals, long-term rentals, and the YouTube money and the leads that I was getting from YouTube, that was the first year I made like $1 million. That was my first $1 million earned, okay? Once I added the YouTube in there. And again, I started on YouTube in 2018. I didn't really start taking it seriously to 2020. So that was me making earning $1 million. And then right after was $1 million is cash. That's the third way to be a millionaire. So having $1 million in cash. That was soon after, again, with the YouTube and the media. Once I started adding in bigger events instead of doing little small events or little small tours, or once I started putting on events regularly, then I had $1 million in cash. So I've actually been able to achieve the millionaire in all 3 of those. Wow. And to be honest, it really was with the help of YouTube. It was with putting myself out there, teaching this stuff. And again, I didn't come on YouTube for YouTube money. I came to YouTube for leads, looking for people that wanted to flip houses or people that wanted, had a house they didn't want anymore. I came for that. And then obviously left with $1 million.
I love it. I like that you said leads. How do you monetize your leads?
So this is a great question that people do ask me. And this is one that's kind of hard to share because this is like me really telling my business. So when it comes to YouTube, the way that I get leads is with the call to action at the end. So I'm teaching you something in every single video. I came to YouTube. I already had over 40 properties. I was already flipping houses. So I came to YouTube and I'm like, I'm going to teach you guys how to do this. But at the end of the video, I'm like, get my free book. Get my free course, get my, download my thing. Let me grab your email address. Hey, come to my event. Hey, call me if you want something. So I had a call to action at the end of every single video, and quickly it became a lot of leads. So just think about it. Even if you have a video, it only has a couple 100 views, because in the beginning, you're not getting thousands and thousands. People are looking at my channel now, but when I first started, I would get 12 views. You know what I mean? You put a video out there, it got 100 views. But even if it got 100 views, then like 10 people had clicked my link.
Okay.
You know what I mean? And out of those 10, let's even just say all 10 did. Say I got 5 people to buy my book or come to my course or let me mentor them. In every video, 5 people.
Yes.
And I have now 600-700 videos on YouTube, and it was really quick and easy to get. It grew really quickly, yeah. And so the leads, how we monetize them is selling them the book or having them come to my event or selling them a course or buying my program or, hey, do you want to have a conversation with me? That's $500. Whatever it is that you do, you can get that lead from YouTube.
At your point where you've now earned your first $1 million, you're now a multimillionaire, what's the next projects or the next business ventures for Noelle?
So this is one I can share, but I can't share. So obviously I'm in the process, this.
The ones you can share.
A 10-figure deal. Great. Yeah, 10-figure deal. So not millions, not tens of millions, hundreds of million. And that is a media deal where I would be able to put this content in multiple places, and there's already advertisers that are set up. So the way that YouTube works, because this is what people don't really understand, how I get lots of money from YouTube is people are watching my video, and whether they call me at the end or not, they're gonna watch an ad. And YouTube splits that revenue with me, 55, 45, okay? And so on average, it's probably anywhere from, $30,000 to $60,000 per month that I get from YouTube right now. Yeah. And that's just the ad money that they're splitting with me. That's one stream of revenue, okay? Yeah. Plus, you already have the real estate properties. Yeah. And so I wanna just grow all of that. So I'm gonna be getting more properties. Obviously, we're into the apartment buildings, and we have some stuff with fractionalized ownership that we're working on. And then the big thing, the big multimedia deal, taking all of this content, putting it on bigger platforms, working with bigger advertisers, showcasing my students and my employees and just all that we have. So just more of what people are seeing now, just more and bigger.